Thank you for tuning in to No Flag Radio. I'm your host, P. In the news, getting it. Today we talking about the update to the unfortunate slaying of our brother Kevin Battle Sr. out here in Fort Worth, Texas. So, what was primarily sold to the grand jury by way of the DA, Sharen Wilson, is that our brother Kevin Battle Sr. was someone who entered this racist white supremacist Mark Jabben's home during an argument they were having after Mark Jabben was throwing racial insults at Kevin Battle Sr.'s grandson, his 5-year-old grandson. Well, good news, y'all. Now the forensics has finally got back from the labs to the DA, Sharen Wilson, and she's notified the family of Kevin Battle Sr. that there was no blood of Kevin Battle in Mark Jabben's apartment duplex. Now, why is that important? Well, because punk-ass Mark Jabben, he's been in the news, and Fort Worth police also have been in the news lying, saying that Kevin's DNA and blood were found in the home. And I'm going to break down further why they're both lying a little later. Let's take a look at some things. I see the chat's up. Let me take a look at another screenshot for y'all so y'all can keep some visuals popping and jumping. Alright? But according to a source very close to the family, a gentleman by the name of Kevin Garner of BKG Empowerment Network. Check him out on YouTube. That's BKG, like Barry Kevin Garner, I guess. Black Kevin Garner on YouTube. He confirms that indeed no blood or DNA of Kevin's was found in the home. Because the police were saying Kevin's blood was found in the home, which would indicate that he stepped into Jabben's duplex and therefore corroborate his fake ass story of fearing for his life and having to self-defend, right? Against Kevin, who was some sort of intruder. You hear me? So this forensic investigation proves that there was no forceful entry into Mark Jabben's home. Not a speck of Kevin Battle's DNA is in that duplex. And that's great news, right? Because they want us to believe that a man just walks into somebody's home unarmed. The only thing in his hand is his grandson's hand, right? And this guy, Jabben, has constantly been in a tizzy over black people in the neighborhood. He's constantly been an instigator of racial conflict in the duplex, right? Like the whole neighborhood confirms this shit. Constantly been an instigator of racial conflict. He's had the police call on him numerous times for racially antagonizing Kevin Battle Sr. on previous occasions. And, you know, what happened leading up to the incident, just to refresh y'all, let me get to the chat. What happened leading up to that incident is that we all know that motherfucking Mark Jabben took a L. Alright? He got punched by Kevin Battle some days before. He gave him a black eye for initiating a fight with him. He initiated a fight with a 57-year-old man and lost. And in his mind, white supremacy took a L, and all of his thoughts about white toughness took a L, and all his thoughts about white greatness took a L. Alright? So he's sad, and he was hurt, and he lost. Right? And I talked about that in my initial video about this, and he calls the man back later to kind of resettle the score with our brother Kevin Battle, which sounds like a setup. You know, just it sounds just like the setup that unfortunately eventually happened. And that man Kevin Battle, he actually turned down this fool's request. Let me put his picture up here. There you go. Y'all see that black under his eye? Yo, that don't mean he play football. That's not no sun guard, no sunblock that you see the football players wear. He got dotted in his fucking eye. That's what we're looking at. Okay? And for being a racist white supremacist and trying to challenge men underneath a racist white supremacist banner. Alright? But our brother Kevin Battle turned down his request to resettle the score with the fool and mess around with his weak ass life again. Like, man, don't get fucked up again, right? So Jabben, he says, I know how I'm gonna get him to engage with me. I'm gonna call his grandson who happened to walk outside. I'm gonna call him a nigger, and I'm gonna call him all the anti-black racial epithets I can, because I know Kevin Battle Sr., he really ain't no punk. He dotted me in my motherfucking eye, so I know he'll come out and try to check me. I know he'll come out, and that'll get him out here. And he did just that. The grandson was upset, crying. Brother Battle goes out to see what's up, and Mark Jabben, with his white supremacist behind, shoots him 3 times. We were first saying it was 2 times he was shot, but it's actually 3 times. Shot him twice in his face and once in the back of the head, is what the forensics are now revealing now, okay? So nobody believes what Mark Jabben is talking about, Kevin Battle Sr., putting him in fear for his life, all right? No man is there to put fear in you with a 5-year-old in tow, all right? Nobody does that who has constantly called the police on you for racially antagonizing him and his family. You understand? But Kevin Battle was unfortunately killed outside of the home. Outside of the home, not inside of the home. Matter of fact, let me run back to the chat just to see how things look. Okay, nothing jumping yet, nothing doing yet. It's all good. And as far as self-defense, also in the forensic findings, it was confirmed, as I mentioned, that brother Kevin Battle Sr., because he does have a son, Kevin Battle Sr., unfortunately, was shot twice in the face and once in the back of the head. Because at first we were hearing he was shot twice in the face. You know, the cops were saying, all in the media too, they were kind of soft pad playing the happenstance of what happened. They were like, yo, he was shot in the upper body. And no. They're trying to omit the facts and the heinous thing that Jabben did. All this, you know, they're trying to salt pad it with all this weak ass shit, right? Because when you shoot somebody in the face and stand over them and shoot them in the back of the head, and I'm sorry to say it like that for the family out there, damn, you know what I mean? For the family that's grieving, for the family of our brother Kevin Battle Sr., you know, for y'all who are grieving for what this Jabben has done, I want y'all to please accept my apologies. You know what I mean? Cause I know it's heavy on you right now to hear what's being said as you're grieving. You know what I mean? But what he did, Jabben, shooting somebody in the back of the head, that lies outside of the description of self-defense. You know what I'm saying? That's not self-defense. That's not self-defense when somebody is face down on the ground and then you shoot them. And that's the definition of gratuitous violence. And I always say, in this white supremacist society that we're in, we're dealing with them gratuitously committing violence. Gratuitous. It's not they need mental evaluation. It's not they need training. It's not that they're sick in the brain. It's not that they need pills. It's not that they need counseling. This is how they're genetically configured, is to do evil against melanin. This is what they're doing. We're witnessing it. We're sitting in the middle of it, right? And this is every indication that this guy is gratuitously violent and cold-hearted. It also shows that this is a very calculated, cold, callous act, right? For somebody to stand over somebody, right? And everybody needs their say in this, is what I want to get to. The witnesses that were there, Kevin Battle in particular. Kevin Battle the second, and damn, probably even the grandson, in my opinion, damn. You know, they say don't put a kid on the stand, but damn. Shit, everybody needs their say at refuting. And everybody needs a chance at refuting the impossible ass narrative of Mark Jabben. Him saying Kevin Battle was fighting or assailing him in some way inside of the home. We've been seeing this in the media. Like, we've been saying like there was a fight. No, there wasn't no fight. The fight already happened. The police were already called. He's been getting the police called on him. Mark Jabben. So definitely we need to give Kevin Battle Sr.'s son, especially, you know, a chance in the light, a chance to highlight the new findings of this forensics investigation that shows Mark Jabben to be a liar. All right? That needs to go straight to trial. And as a DA, Sharen Wilson, I came out hard on her when I had my Twitter account, when I still had Twitter. But I came out hard on her like, look, you need to get on this. You need to start throwing these charges down. You need to start this investigation. Your police need to get down with this investigation. Right? I didn't waste no time with her early in this case. You understand? And as a DA, it's her job to look at all the evidence, look at all the witnesses, look at what I'm saying. It's her job to collect all of that shit and review all the facts in the case, and including goddamn forensics. All right. So since this stuff is now hot and ready, now these facts are hot and ready. They're only like a few days old or whatever, and she's already notified the family of the lie that was being spread by Jabben. I mean, and also that was helped being spread by the Fort Worth police, right? And I'm gonna get to them in a bit. She should now criminally charge Mark Jabben for this murder and get it to trial. All right? He's packaged his lie to the police. Understand? And on the day of the murder of this man, the police, they release him and turn around and so flippantly embellish his side of the story for him, saying that there was evidence to show that it was self-defense. This is what we saw in the media out here. I'm just trying to refresh y'all, you know what I mean? Also criminally charged the Fort Worth police for covering up the shit. We got some Fort Worth police. Let me get their motherfucking ass in here. There they go. Weak ass motherfuckers. Matter of fact, let me check my chest just to see what's okay. Chest still straight good. But you know what I'm saying? Throw them in the mix too. They're covering up Mark Jabben's involvement and saying Kevin Battle entered Jabben's home just so they could corroborate a story. Just so leisurely, just corroborate a story. These police should be in jail right now. The Fort Worth police. All right. So what? And what's more is, you know, the family. This is something I didn't want to forget. The family and the people close to the family that, you know, that's on the phone with the family every day type people, like my brother Kevin Garner, on the phone with these people. People are trying to still find the records of all those police calls that were made on Mark Jabben before the event happened. You understand? They're still trying to find those records. And I'm guessing there's a records request or several records requests to the Fort Worth police to get those records, right? And nothing is being relayed back from the Fort Worth Police Department. You understand? So that looks like a cover-up. It looks like the police, when those calls were made, they took no record of the incidents that were happening. They didn't even take it as this man constantly having to call the police. They're being criminally negligent in the reporting of cases. They're not doing their job, so they shouldn't even have their fucking job. You understand? It's looking like the police took no report of the prior altercations, is what it's looking like, because ain't nobody getting back. And the police, they always make a record, so why are they negating a record? Right? They want to not have a record, so when something do happen, then they can say, well, there was no record. But the whole community is like, yes, he's a problem in the community. This Mark Jabben, he's a problem. And the police are faulty in their way of handling this case from the beginning. And all the precursors to this unfortunate event that we having to talk about today. Just watch the laziness factor. Watch the weak, unlearned, unengaged manner in which these race soldiers are policing out in Fort Worth, Texas. What type of fat donut eating motherfucker shit they got going on, man. And we also know that the police, according to our brother Kevin Garner for BKG Empowerment, shout out to Kevin Garner for BKG Empowerment. Y'all go check his channel out on YouTube. We know that the police were corroborating the story of, oh, Kevin's blood was on the wall and it appears he entered the home, right? Yet the forensics does not show that. And I just want to get on that one more again. That shows willful criminality on behalf of the Fort Worth police, on top of everything, right? And me, I'm still trying to find out, like, who is the spokesperson for the police in this case, and who has the spokespeople been? Because they have different spokespeople for different issues or whatever, different types of topics and subjects that come across their desk. They have different spokespeople that go talk to the media or whatever. I want to know who's the investigating officer. I want to know who wrote the reports, who's the detectives, the names of all the officers who showed up on the scene, because this reeks of a Fort Worth Police Department cover-up, like they're involved in suppressing the evidence in this case. I got a few names. See, there's a guy by the name of Polinazi. What's his name? Polinazi? Let me get his name. Polazani. I said it right. Officer Jimmy Polazani. All right? And this guy, he's sent email correspondence to the Fort Worth Star-Telegram News, trying to froth up this phony narrative that Kevin Battle entered this fool's duplex home, Jabben's duplex. He says Battle went to Jabben's door to confront Jabben about speaking to his grandson. Well, no, it wasn't speaking to it. See how they word shit? See how these people word shit to the media? He wasn't speaking to his grandson. He was calling him racial epithets. He was calling him nigger. Okay? That's what, you see how the police are already trying to soft pad it. He wasn't speaking to your grandson. He wasn't speaking to his grandson. He was calling him nigger. Okay? So he wants to try to take it away from race, but no, it's a racialized affront to this man, Kevin Battle, right from the jump. All right? But he's talking about, he went to Jabben's front door to confront Jabben about speaking to his grandson, lie, and a very brief argument ensued. Well, no, it's not just some, see, he's trying to make it seem like it's just some wisp in the wind ass argument. No, there's been countless prior calls about this guy that have been leading up to this particular confrontation that they had. So no, it's not something brief. It's not some drop in the bucket, wisp in the wind, once in a blue moon kind of thing. This has been happening. He's been antagonistic towards Kevin Battle. So the guy says, Battle is believed to have attempted to enter into Jabben's residence during the argument when Jabben fired 3 shots, striking Battle in the head. I believe this is what they sent to the grand jury to begin with. One of his statements, too. Battle is believed to have attempted to enter. Okay, so he's already, see what he's doing. Y'all see how he's frothing up the lie end of it. All right, he's frothing up the lie, talking about he's believed. You see, they're trying to cast a measure of doubt on the situation. You see what they do? They try to cast the doubt. They try to downplay and cast doubt right when they know somebody white has done crime. You see what it is? So he's already on code. This Polizani. He's already on call with white supremacists cover up. Right? Okay, let's get another picture up. Let's get another fool up here. There's another guy. His name is, I believe, Bradley Perez. His statement, y'all might want to take a note on this. He said, homicide detectives found that the victim and the suspect were involved in a verbal argument near the threshold to the suspect's residence. So, homicide detectives triangulated this argument near the threshold. Now that sounds more like what really happened. You see what I'm saying? They're trying to sell it like he was in his house. And no. Homicide detectives came on the scene. All right? They came on the scene and then they triangulated where this shit happened. They saw where the pieces fell on the crime scene. So, yeah. I want y'all to watch that. You see how the police are conflicting themselves? Watch that. You understand? And where there's confusion in the ranks around the case, you know what I mean? Where everybody's supposed to be on one accord. And for cops, that means that being on accord with facts surrounding an issue. Everybody's supposed to be on accord with the facts. If you're a police, because you're a public servant, you're supposed to not play no other games other than the fact game, right? Anytime there's confusion around the ranks in a case where everybody's supposed to be on one accord, that means a lie is being perpetrated. When everybody's supposed to be on a truth accord. And that's what we're seeing now today. That's what we're seeing now, by way of the forensics investigation process. We're seeing now that that's what's being confirmed now. So that's why all of this seems fishy to me. Everything coming out of Fort Worth police, I don't believe them. All right? But I want to be sure of these two guys' roles, these guys that I pulled up, them and a few other people that I've, saw in the investigatory process of trying to pull up who was some of the detectives involved in this and who were some of the, various faces involved. I want to be sure of who they are and see who these people are as far as their roles before I put them out there as this is the spokesperson of this is the person that's trying to, I want to be able to dot my I's and cross my T's on it before I bring it to y'all. And let me go to the cam with the chat, see when this bitch. Okay, chat's still empty. It's all good. It's hump day. I know y'all got shit to do. Let me put it up just to change the scenery. There we go. So, another thing I want y'all to know is very also telling, very much telling when you're talking about police participating in a cover-up or some shit. Y'all might want to know this, that Mark Jabben, he had a warrant for his arrest at the time that the police showed up to the scene of this killing. I know what y'all saying, like, a warrant? What? Hold up. Yeah, a fucking warrant. And not a move was made to arrest this dude on the spot. They let him go with some damn questioning, right? He had a warrant for his arrest some days before the shooting, maybe 4 or 5 days before the shooting. He had a warrant. Not even a week before the shooting. The Fort Worth police show up. Fort Worth race soldiers show up. Hey, a murder happened here. Damn. Okay, well, we'll take you in. We're going to run your ID, but we're going to totally forget about that warrant that we pulled up, right? Right now, he has a warrant, and he actually moved from that part of town with his warrant. He's already moved out of that duplex, Mark Jabben. He's already moved with his warrant. You understand? This is white privilege right here, all the way. All the way. There's another thing that gets me, and y'all should have y'all antennas up about when I say this. And peep me out when I say this. And again, I don't want to be too graphic because, I understand it's heavy and the feelings are heavy and the emotion is heavy and everything is heavy and everybody's sad and everybody want Kevin Battle Sr. back. I know, I feel it. I get it. I get it. I get it. You know what I'm saying? I hear it. I'm with it. But I want to say this, if a man's blood is on the scene, look, if blood is spilled on a crime scene, that has to be cleaned up and all of that shit, right? We're going to talk a little bit of forensics. You know what I'm saying? If y'all familiar with the forensics game or whatever. For all my forensics people out there, I'm not one, but I mean, the amount of time that they had Mark Jabben in questioning, the Fort Worth police, when they grabbed him and said, okay, we're going to talk to you about this shit. The amount of time they had him in questioning was like a couple hours, probably no less than 3 hours. Or probably no more than 3 hours. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? That's not enough time to handle a blood-ridden crime scene like Mark Jabben was trying to sell to the media, and like the Fort Worth police was trying to sell to the media, talking about his blood was in the... Look, that's not how the shit go. If it's blood on the crime scene, come on, man. And you inside of a duplex. Let me go back to this picture so y'all can see something real quick. Let me go back to the picture of the inside of his apartment, just in case y'all didn't see what that looked like in his apartment. You see a little walkway. See if I can make it a little bigger. You see a walkway, and you see some carpet. You understand? Walkway and some carpet. See if I can make it a little bigger for y'all. I'll make it a little bigger, y'all, just so y'all can check it out. Y'all see that? That's a walkway and some carpet. His door is the open door, right? Now, if somebody is entered your home and it's an active crime scene and you talking about, and you a police officer, let's put it on the police right now. We're going to get on their ass. You the police talking about there was blood on the wall, talking all of this at an active crime scene. You stupid ass cops. You dumb motherfuckers. How is it that within a couple hours you got punk ass Mark Jabben back in the domicile, back inside of a bloody ass crime scene? You know what I mean? If it's a bloody crime scene, and not to sound disrespectful in any way, the crime lab gonna show up, right? They gonna show up. And they roping everything off. Any crime lab that's worth their salt, they gonna rope everything off, right? That's how the shit go, right? They're not just gonna clean up everything and then you will be ready to be back in that bitch within less than 3 hours, less than 2 hours after questioning. All right? They're gonna come through. They're not just going to clean the scene. They're going to collect evidence of what people are saying happened. You talking about all this blood everywhere? Okay, where is that? They're going to come through spraying the blue star spray, all of that. I mean, they got to collect evidence. And they're not going to let you back in your home within no 1 hour or 2 hours of questioning. They're not going to do it. You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm wanting to get to show how the police are motherfucking in on this. Their narrative don't match the forensics. So we got forensics and we got the police yapping and talking and running their mouth, lying behind this case, right? You know what I'm saying? You show up to a crime scene after some shit like that happened, after the police took you back and talked to you. What the crime people gonna say? The crime lab investigators, what they gonna say? The forensics, what they gonna say? They gonna say, man, yo, take your ass to a hotel, man. We gotta handle this motherfucking crime scene. Take your bitch ass to a hotel. You gotta get the fuck out of our way right now. We trying to handle this very crucial scene. What up, Paraphernalia Palace? What up, bro? See you in the place to G. How are things, man? Understand? But that's what the crime lab gonna say. You understand? So we gotta think this through, y'all. Where do they do that? Where they let somebody come back to a murder scene to kick it and chill and to rest and to sleep? I mean, where it's supposed to be bloody and all this shit, where it's DNA and shit that could be compromised if a motherfucker is, you know what I mean, if anything walks through there, right? That's why I say, y'all, we constantly got to get out in front of the media and the police and do PR for our victims and witnesses of crime. Because white supremacist society, they'll railroad evidence and forensics. They'll even try to railroad forensics until the forensics come out and speak for themselves. Like in this case, they'll try to silence that with their race soldier crosstalk. They're going to hit you with the crosstalk and we can't have it. I mean, even before a fucking forensics investigation is completed, they're going to try to crosstalk shit and we got to be on ours, y'all. So that's what I'm saying. That shows that the Fort Worth police are race soldiering in this case. It's point blank. It's obvious. It's blatant. They're blatantly covering up the legs in this case that can put Mark Jabben behind bars and put those police behind bars for covering up a fucking case and getting them off of the fucking force forever for participating in the cover up. All right? And that's one thing, I went in on Sharen Wilson on Twitter early when the day that this incident happened. This was March 26th. This happened. I went on her early about it, but this was a good look for her to call the family and say, look, well, we got the forensic results, and the forensic results show that Mark Jabben is a liar, the Fort Worth police is liars. You understand? So, and like I said, Mark Jabben, he has since moved from that area, and that screams a guilty, coward-ass conscience right there. But he's going to plop down somewhere, y'all. He can't run forever. There is no statute of limitations on murder. All of that shit is in place. So, nah. And the Fort Worth police, they looking like some hoes right now, right? Y'all could at least arrested the guy to make it look like the crime scene was gruesome inside of his house or whatever. Like, hey, we're at least going to arrest you, man, because it was a bad-looking crime scene and as bloody as y'all saying it is now, Fort Worth police. Y'all saying it was bloody. Y'all will at least, hey, man, hold up. It's a bloody-ass crime scene in your house. We're going to at least arrest you. We're not going to even talk to you. It's a bloody crime scene. Somebody dead. You did the shooting. You going to stay your ass in jail. You understand? If it's as bloody and as fucked up as you police trying to sell it in the media, y'all would at least sit his ass down for a day. At least, y'all would at least do something. Y'all wouldn't just ask him 2 questions and say, okay, go back to this all the way bloody crime scene like y'all lying and pretending about. Is my point. So, it's good that y'all shot yourselves in the foot. I'm going to say that. Fort Worth police, I'm glad y'all shot yourself in the foot. Now it's up for the people to keep pressing them. We're going to keep pressing y'all. That's what we're doing here in New Black Media. Ain't no games. The police have been so lax in this case, it's not even funny. They're not even enforcing the smallest amount of law in this case. Like I said, old dude, Mark Jabben, he has a warrant for his arrest days before the shooting. He probably still got a warrant right now as we sitting up talking. You understand? Got a warrant and the cops show up after a murder done went down and they do nothing. All right? And he done moved from that part of town with his warrant. That's as white supremacist as you can get out there in Fort Worth. You got a warrant, you got to go to jail 100% of the time. I don't give a fuck. You got a warrant for speeding tickets. Your ass going to jail that day. And whatever you contention you put up to it, they'll sort that shit out later. You know how it is? You know what I'm saying? That's how it goes. So with Mark Jabben and Fort Worth race soldiers, y'all made a way for him to kind of wriggle his way out of the grips of justice right now. He's kind of wriggled his way almost out of the grips, but he can't bat his eyes for white supremacy enough. You know what I mean? Y'all ignored his warrant. Y'all ignored taking him to jail. Y'all ignored the bail money you could have had coming into the city had you took him to jail, right? Like y'all should have, right? Y'all acted on behalf of white supremacist racialized policing, and we calling it out. And shout out to all those who have did this business boycott. There are a lot of brothers and sisters who were participating in this business boycott. I wanted to do a cast on that a couple of weeks ago. When I saw it, I was like, oh, yeah, man, I couldn't make it to it. I wanted to, but, we need another one. We need another boycott like that. This is a boycott for all the businesses, basically. Brothers out there was talking about, look, let's boycott the city. Let's boycott the whole city. Fuck businesses. We're going to boycott the city. We're going to shut the lights out in this bitch. And what? It was that kind of vibe. And I'm down for it. We need to do another one in light of all these facts that we're saying. We need justice for Kevin. We need justice for Kevin Battle's family, period. And I know his fiance, Talidia, what was her last name? Adams. Talidia Adams. Our heart goes out to you, sister. Our strength goes out to you, sister Talidia Adams. She's trying to get lawyers in the case, you know what I mean, to restoke the fire in this, because the forensics ain't no joke. Rekindle that fire and don't be getting tired on this shit. You understand? And the family want to keep pushing. And us here in black media, we're here to help. So we want to see her push through with that and keep the fire under this case. But anyway, I wanted to get at y'all yesterday. Y'all know it was one of them days. Texas, we had all kind of fucked up weather and shit yesterday, so I really couldn't holler at y'all like I wanted to. I didn't want to be in this bitch and motherfucker be Dorothy and the motherfucking Wizard of Oz. Your boy Pekin blew the fuck around this bitch. I ain't want to have to go through that. You know what I'm saying? Some shit happened with a stream cut off or some fuck shit. I didn't want that to happen, so I said, fuck it. Let me just, I wanted to do my Asian versus ADOS premiere, but I was like, nah, let me not even try to record it. Some shit happened, and I get pissed off if they keep cutting off or some shit, because the weather was fucked up. Like, that shit you see on the map, look at a fucking map. I'm in motherfucking Texas, so where all that fucked up weather and shit be jumping off, yeah, that's where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? Check me out. Here we get. You can look at a map and know it's us, know it's me, right? But anyway, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that notification bell, so you know when I'm dropping. And of course, don't forget to check out my Teespring. That bitch, the business. My favorite one out of all these shirts is that I don't like the OK symbol. I think that's one of my illest designs ever, y'all. I think that's the best design. That and then the I don't like mayo. Those are probably two of my favorite ones. But then again, I do like the don't harm black people in my man, I like them all, man. I ain't gonna even front. One day y'all might see me wear one of them. I just gotta get some shit that match it. You know what I mean? That match. I wanna kinda match a little bit, whatever. I mean, I might get that race first hoodie. You see that on the very end, that red shirt, the race first. You know what I mean? Prima genus, that's how I say it. I want to get that in a hoodie. Rock that on y'all ass and shit. Or get that I don't like mayo in the long sleeve. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Shit fly. But anyway, good hearing from y'all. Good seeing from y'all. Those who in the spot. Get it, y'all.